Good evening, Voltage fans, and welcome to tonight's fixture between your Vermont Voltage and the Aztecs Soccer Club from Boston, Massachusetts. This is the first trip for the Aztec Club up to Vermont, and we'll be interested to see how their team performs on the field. Setting tonight's lineup for the Voltage. In goal, we have Nate Lovitz from Bowdoin College. Defending, Chris Zura. Defender, Jamie Wunsch. And Tierno Diallo defending as well. In the midfield, we have Mark Benson, Iri Sun, Mirza Korajkic, and Bo Vučković. And up front, Derek McKenzie and Iri Sun. And for the Aztec Soccer Club in goal, Mike Ferrari. In defense, Gray O'Neill. Lindsay Jack, number 11. Jack Lindsay, excuse me. Midfield, we have Lenny Lottie, Nick Figueredo, Walter Blake, Seth Fischelson. And up front, Clive Mannion, number 7, Utah, number 23, Ali Kaba. And stepping into the booth with me tonight is Mike Forenza, who's just arrived. Looks like Mike's not suited up tonight. Mike, are you injured?
I'm injured, Jamie. Hamstring pull from last week's Vassal game.
Well, that's right. I saw that from way across the field as you were sprinting away, and all of a sudden looked like an old man crippled up on the far side.
Well, wasn't really stretched out after the second half, and just kind of felt it pull up my leg.
So what's your timeline? When do you think you'll be back in the lineup?
I'm hoping I'll be back for the alumni game. If not, by the White Eagle game, the last game, August 19th.
Okay, so I take it you're in intensive daily physical therapy with the trainers?
Yep, I've been going to the therapist every day and doing some stuff in the pool and ice and the usual.
Okay, sounds good. Good luck with that. And let's get settled in here. Aztec winning a corner kick, cleared out nicely by the Voltage. We really don't know anything about this club other than they arrived late, came onto the field late, didn't really get a proper warm-up. We'll see how they adjust to that.
I think they're a bunch of high school and college guys with a couple older guys is what their makeup is.
David Purser on the left side, clearing the ball up to Derek McKenzie, running onto it nicely. A little bit of a different lineup tonight from last week. Looks like some players have had to leave town. Can you give us a little rundown of the whereabouts of some of the regular players?
Yep. Matt Stedman and Brian Leonard have headed back to Niagara for school. They're doing preseason. Bo Simic is on a little vacation to Florida, and he'll be back for the alumni game, the 12th. Larry Yaboa, who hasn't been here in a little while, is back at school. He had to finish up some classes for eligibility in the spring, or in the fall. And myself, who's injured, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. It's interesting how the Voltage has really picked up their game in the last month in particular, with several different lineups, but kind of a core group in the back that's really brought the group together as a team. I think Bo Simic, when he came in, had a lot to do with that. Stability in the back.
Yep.
Any other things that you've noticed about
how the teams really played? Didn't ever have a team practice until about 5 games into the PDL, so organization was a big problem for us. And finally, once we have some stability at the back, we've really been able to play a lot better all the way up through the forwards.
That's an interesting little tidbit there that many of the fans aren't going to be able to have realized happened was that you weren't able to have constructive training sessions because you didn't have a full side.
Yeah, everybody was still coming back from school and injuries, and Bo Simic arriving late, and we really didn't have a core group until 5 games into our season, when some of the damage had already been done in the PDL.
Right. Well, it's been a lot more fun to watch in the last month, I will say. Quite a bit more entertaining soccer.
Yep, scoring some more goals.
And some more goals are happening. I must say I was very impressed with Matt Stedman's ability to put the ball in the net.
Yep.
I think he was a surprise for many of the fans here.
Yeah,
Quality player inside 30 yards, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he has a knack for the goal.
In the 52 Vermont State Parks, the simple things rise to the surface. That's why so many families make the park trip the center of their summer.
Aztecs with a long throw in on the far side, and they'll maintain possession.
Stateparks.com. Reservations can be made 11 months in advance. Kids grow best with lots of fresh air and water.
Zura controlling the ball in the middle. Gives it up, and the Aztecs counter quickly on the left side. Ooh. A dangerous ball there from the Aztec, and that's going to go for a goal kick. Perhaps the Voltage taking this team a little bit too lightly at this point. They obviously have some skill and some organization. Voltage haven't really settled into their game yet. No, this is about 69 by 113, I think. Vučković with a nice cross to Mirza. Back to Diallo.
This is James' first game back from injury. He had broken his leg and or done some ligament damage in Ottawa earlier in the year. So it's be interesting to see how he does in his first game back.
He came on in the second half of the last game last Wednesday. Scored a goal with his first touch.
Oh, you know what? I was in the locker room dealing with my hamstring. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he scored a goal just as he came on the field with his first touch. Put it in the side netting with a nice goal. It's great to see him back on the field. I know he's been very anxious to get back on after all the hard work it takes to get back and get healthy. I'd prefer to see him in a different positions besides in the back.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty exciting player.
Are you here with a special group, or is it your birthday? Come up to the press box and we will announce your attendance.
Diallo having a hard time getting the ball to Vučković in the middle. Diallo with a throw-in. McKenzie with some nice hustle on that play. Aztecs with the ball in the sweeper spot. The long cross up front, and that's going to go long and out of bounds for a Voltage goal kick. I'll try to get some numbers and names related here to the Aztec club. A couple of the jerseys I see don't have any numbers on them. Number 17, Lenny Malati from Kenya. Number 5 at the right back spot, looks like Jared Monaco. Derek McKenzie showing to the ball nicely. Zura can't quite control it. Frank. I got
Shot by number 17,
he's gonna give us 2 adults.
Lenny Malty.
Half-time show.
It's Mark Benson on the left to Derek McKenzie.
Yeah, I already talked to him about it. I'm gonna add 1 to it.
Derek's got pretty good speed out on the wings.
So I told Scott
It'll be a
to bring
voltage
people
throw.
over there and look for you and Tommy.
Bo.
Told them to bring 2 little kids and 2 counselors.
Offsides on Erie Soonj. Would have been a corner, good attempt by Erie.
Okay. If you need to change it, that's fine. Or maybe just grab 2 of them. One little kid and 1 kid, just because the crowd will go wild.
Aztecs' backs look a little bit sloppy opposed to their midfield and forwards seem to have a pretty good idea of what they're doing.
Make sure Tommy has the cordless. So, Mike Forenza, what are your plans for the fall? Are you still in school, or are you finished school?
I'm finished school. I graduated in the spring, and I'm planning on moving back down to New York and getting a real job.
Uh-oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
Good win by Derek McKenzie.
You're getting a real job, Mike. In what field?
Well, that's an interesting question. I was a finance major, so I think that's where I'm going to start. If nothing works out there, then I'm not really sure. But hopefully I'll get a job at a bank and start a 9-to-5 life.
Uh-huh.
As fun as that sounds.
McKenzie looking for the through ball there. Looked to me like he was offsides, but referee didn't call it. Erie getting a lucky bounce there.
Aztecs seem to be playing pretty direct, hitting a lot of long balls. Not a bad attempt.
Nice little chip. That player, I think his name is Yuta, number 7. Doesn't have a number on the back of his shirt, but his name is Yuta. And my program says he's from Japan. Definitely looks Japanese. So we're going to say that that's Yuta, number 7.
A bit ambitious by Sully.
Is Jason Wagner also injured tonight?
Jason Wagner did some ACL, MCL damage. So he is done for the year and awaiting surgery, I believe.
Well, that's not good news.
No, he's another one. He's off to Egypt for his career.
Really?
Yep.
What's that all
He is
about?
going to be an engineer on an offshore oil rig.
And how did he get that job?
That I don't know, other than he was a double major at Columbia University. He's a smart guy. And that's an Aztec throw.
Diallo not quite got his skills under control yet tonight. Maybe he needs a little more warm-up.
More direct play from the Aztecs, who came up with no subs.
I heard a rumor that a couple players got off of the wrong exit and they haven't arrived yet.
Really?
It seems as though the Voltage are playing as if they could score at any moment, but just haven't quite put the effort into it.
Yeah, they're sitting back a little bit, letting the Aztecs make some decisions. And they seem to be just kicking it long and losing the ball each time, so.
Yeah.
Fans, don't forget to mark those calendars for August 19th, the last game of the season. You will have a chance of winning a new car. Great hand-in-hand finance is providing a brand new Pontiac Vibe that 3 of our lucky fans will be competing for. To mark those calendars for August 19th.
A bit of trickery up top.
Number 17 is a very skillful player. Lenny Maladi from Kenya, number 17 on the ball right now. He's got some good skill, good vision. And Utah coming all the way back from the forward position.
Another good player, Utah.
McCarron clears it up the middle, and there's no one for the Voltage team up there to receive it.
This strategy that the Voltage has been using has seemed to have been pretty effective lately, just letting teams back four play it long and having Dave Purser and Jamie Wunsch, who's also gone back to school, deal with the long balls in the back. And then relying on some counterattack stuff.
Yeah, I can see the laying back part evolving. I'm just not confident that the counterattack
It's been so successful.
part of the formula has been that successful. But we are only 17 minutes into the match, so it's still early.
1964, Vermont citizen soldiers have stood ready to answer the call to serve their community, state, and their country. Continue the proud tradition. Call 1-800-488-2764. The Army National Guard.
Diallo with a throw in to McKenzie.
Ooh.
McKenzie battling for it, and McCarron will clear.
If ever any need of legal advice, turn to James Levy, the lawyer that the Voltage trust the most. James Levy is one of the most trusted lawyers in Vermont and is a proud sponsor of the Vermont Voltage.
Aztecs doing well, getting the ball moved across the field rather quickly.
Leaving a lot of space at the back.
People's Trust Company has been serving the community
Number
since
12,
1986.
Walter Blake from Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the Aztec Soccer Club, with an ambitious shot from 45 yards. See if the Voltage can play the ball on the floor and get some momentum here.
People's Trust Company, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Losing the ball in the midfield.
Dave Purser with a decent ball up to Derek.
Demers for the first time on the ball in quite a while. Nice ball over the head from Vučković to Irisun on the left side, and there'll be an offsides call.
That one was on Mark Benson. A little space. Handball. No call.
Nate Lovitz with a good quality looking play. Vučković free in the middle. And it's broken up.
Courses are available day, evening, and online. For more information, call 524-6541.
Both teams getting pretty spread out now.
CCB, take the first step to a quality education.
Through ball to McKenzie. Can't quite catch up to it.
And a little too much on that one.
Left-footed drive from Utah.
Vermont's leading financial services company. Chinden has developed the right mix of solutions for you. Our financial goals and social concerns can work together in our socially responsible banking program. Welcome to Chinden, 109 North Main Street in St. Albans.
Interesting to see how the fitness will hold up for the Aztecs, since we know nothing about them. And they have no subs.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some holes opening up in the second half, particularly the last 20 minutes. Vučković battling against the younger adversary, doing well to maintain possession.
Probably going to look for Derek's feet here. Be a throw-in. This will be a left-footed shot. Oh.
Normally Vučković would let that one go at this time of the game. Surprised he didn't on that one.
Good win
David
by Dave
Purser with a
Purser.
nice header.
Oh, sloppy ball back by Mirza. And long distance shot.
The 2006 Vermont Voltage yearbooks are at the souvenir stand. Check out the bios of your favorite players and have them signed under their pictures.
Chris Zura holding the ball a little bit too long there.
Oh,
The ball gets driven into the crowd.
good
Nice
ball
through
in by
to Yuri.
Vučković.
Oh, he looked like he was on sides.
Questionable call. Not a bad strike.
Number 21, Nick Figueredo from Wilmington, Mass. of the Aztecs Soccer Club. Left-footed shot, not missing by much. Nate Lovitz on the goal kick.
Franklin Grand Isle Bookmobile. Call 527-5426.
That'll be a handball.
Derek McKenzie putting pressure on the ball there.
Offsides on 23. Ali Kaba from Liberia. Right around the corner.
And the Voltage soccer camps are still in action this summer. VermontVoltage.com. Find out all the details for your Vermont Voltage camps. Get coached by the pros. Learn the passion of the game. VermontVoltage.com.
JW Ryan's Club on Kingman Street in St. Albans is a proud sponsor of Vermont Voltage and Lady Voltage. That's JW Ryan's Club on Kingman Street.
And this will be a shot by Yuta. The grass is a little wet, so those low shots are pretty effective.
Diallo with the ball, nobody helping him.
Good first touch. Not enough on the shot.
.27 minutes into this match, it's still 0-0. Vermont Voltage against the Aztecs Soccer Club from Boston, Massachusetts. And so far we've seen very few opportunities or chances on goal for either team. Mirza battling in the corner. Looks like the Voltage have won a direct kick.
This will be a good opportunity for Derek. He's probably the tallest guy on the field. Up.
Just cleared nicely by the Aztec
Mark Benson.
defenders.
And way offsides.
Benson putting through a pretty nice ball, but a little irresponsible by the forwards to not check their positioning. McKenzie.
He's got no one in the box.
Voltage players can teach you the skills you need to know if you want to get to learn the game. So please pick up camp brochure at souvenir stands or go to VermontVoltage.com.
McKenzie unlucky to do better with that one.
Ooh, good slide tackle from Tierno. Dave Persha might have just caught a cleat in the foot.
Purser with a nice ball to Diallo. Diallo can't turn it forward. Purser with a lot of room in front of him.
Benson with a good ball in front.
Aztecs looking for the offsides call. Demers, one player we haven't seen much of tonight's game so far.
Good
Nice,
ball in.
Nice through ball.
And didn't do
Can't
much
finish.
with it.
Number 23, Ali Kaba. Should have done better with that one.
Good win by Derek. Aztecs like to play a lot of 1-2 combinations in the center midfield.
Vučković with a nice through ball to Erie. Looking to get it back. Can't control.
This will be a shot. Oh. Well defended.
McCarron with a nice ball to Zura. Can't do much with it. Benson with a nice through ball to Erie. Not much support for Vučković coming forward.
And a roller.
Walter Blake, number 12, from 30 yards. I'm wondering if somebody watching this team at some point this season thought that they were good shooters and told them to keep shooting. But they have yet to display any prowess at shooting the ball whatsoever, as far as I can tell. Voltage looking a little disorganized in the final third here tonight. Aztecs with a long cross, and that's going to go out of bounds. Throw in for the Voltage. "35 minutes into this match, still scoreless at 0-0. Your Vermont Voltage against the Aztec Soccer Club of Boston, Mass. Walter Blake on the ball.
One of his better shots of the day.
Nate Lovitz does well to block it and pounces on his rebound. Bad play by the bad call by the referee. A clear advantage on the through ball to McKenzie from Vučković, and he calls the foul and stops the play. Typical display of poor refereeing by less experienced referees. Vučković running out of gas as he gets inside the 18. I think he surprised himself by getting by those defenders. Another advantage call. Missed by the referee.
Be a Voltage throw. Erie. Good
Nice
ball.
From McKenzie. Oh, and he plays it right to the goalie. Brilliant through ball from Vučković on the sideline. Derek McKenzie wishes he had that one back. One more poke and he was by the goalie and in the goal. But it's easy to say that from up here in the announcer's booth.
And offsides. Offside call.
Another offsides on the Aztecs. And it looks like two more Aztec players have arrived from the parking lot, so there will be some substitutions for them for the second half, which might guarantee us a good game all the way to the end tonight.
This is the first soccer game I've watched in a long time.
Well, this is a good spot to do it. Probably the best spot here at Collins Purley Sports Complex in St. Albans. from the TV announcer's booth. You get a good bird's eye view of the field, the scoreboard, the fans, and Sparky and all his antics. There's quite a lot going on in a soccer game here in St. Albans other than the soccer. James McCarron puts the ball back in play. Purser in a miscommunication with Mark Benson down the far side.
There's still space available in the remaining Voltage summer camps. Voltage summer soccer camps are a great way to learn the passion of the game, as Voltage players teach you the skills you need to reach your soccer goals. So please pick up a full brochure at the souvenir stands, or go to VermontVoltage.com for more information. Also, be sure to pick up the concession stands at the radio main stand. Don't forget, it's 80% off on the merchandise stand.
And that would have been an offsides ball.
I'm not quite sure why the forwards are playing so nonchalant with the offsides. It seems like if they worked a little bit harder at being onsides, they'd have quite a few more opportunities on goal.
That is definitely true.
Number 7, Utah, showing some nice skill there. Ali Kaba, number 23.
And Mirza Tierno.
McKenzie should have had that ball going
that's
forward.
Not a ball you want to play. Good hustle back to win it back by Derek, though. It was a forward now in the left defense.
Simple decisions like that, taking the ball over from Diallo here on the sideline, could cost the team a game if the worst happens. Should always try to let the ball go forward if the play is easier to keep the ball going forward. Aztec Club pulling quite an offsides trap right now on the Voltage forwards. We have into the 43rd minute here. Interesting game between the Aztec Soccer Club and the Vermont Voltage.
The longer this game is 0-0 isn't necessarily a bad thing for the Voltage.
Yeah, the Voltage are definitely more dynamic in the offensive third. But a game like this, I could see any type of mistake being the difference in the end. Karen putting a questionable ball across the goal to Purser.
And Mark Benson goes down. He looks like he's in some pain. Hopefully this is not serious. And a yellow card's been given. Not sure to who.
Can you make out who the yellow card went to?
I believe number 21, which is Nick
Figueredo.
Figueredo.
I think he was one causing the infraction. Interesting how the yellow card comes out on the foul a good 45 seconds after the foul is committed.
Evan Winkler, if you're out there, Evan Winkler, please meet your mother by the ambulance. Evan Winkler.
Well, he's putting weight on it, so that's a good sign.
And we're back in play. Purser putting the ball in play.
And Benson re-enters the field.
Utah battling with
Erie
in the far corner. That'll be a Nate Lovett's goal kick.
Good win by Derek McKenzie.
McKenzie still
Might
on the
have
ball.
some promise.
Quick throw to Zura.
And that's the half.
An interesting whistle for halftime, knowing that we're only 30 seconds into injury time and we had well into 4 minutes of injury time in that half. So there you have it, the Vermont Voltage 0, the Aztecs Soccer Club 0 at halftime. We'll be back momentarily. Stay with us. And welcome back. Here we are at Collins Pearly Sports Complex in St. Albans, Vermont, watching the second half of your Vermont Voltage against the Aztec Soccer Club of Boston, Massachusetts. And the score right now is 0-0 after a fairly balanced first half, front and back. I'm in the booth here with Mike Forenza, who's on the injured list tonight, not playing. Mike, give us a short summary of the first half as you saw it.
The Voltage sat in and let the Aztecs come at them a little too much. That only led to the Aztecs taking some long-range shots that really didn't have much of a chance. Derek McKenzie had the opportunity of the day so far, and the goalkeeper made a good stop, and this is a pretty even game. I'm going to say the scoreboard's going to lean towards the Aztecs with shots, but that doesn't really tell the whole story.
Yeah, it seems, I would say almost intentionally, that the Voltage have been playing this side to really dominate them in the second half, as perhaps their fitness and their organization over a full 90 minutes will come into question. So we'll see how it turns out. See if there's been any adjustments. The lineup looks the same from the finish of the second half as far as the Voltage is concerned.
Seems like the rain's going to hold off as well.
Yeah, not a bad night tonight in the stands. Almost half full. A lot of kids at this game here tonight that are around the track or on the side of the stands, not in the stands, in the bleachers. Number 1 has come on for the Aztecs.
Ooh.
Almost an own goal there by James McCarron. Number 1 looks like a new player that has arrived from somewhere. I guess Massachusetts. He arrived late.
Maybe Chris Ethier. It's a possibility.
Could be.
Oh. Why not?
Surprisingly, off the field, number 17, who I thought was the best player on the field, Lenny Malati from Kenya and the Aztec Soccer Club. He's sitting down at the moment. I'm wondering if the coach knows that he's not allowed to go back in after he's come back out in this league. We'll see how that plays out.
They might let him come back in because this is a friendly game, so it depends on what they made for rules before.
Right. I would say, but chances are that this club showed up late, got onto the field late, that they didn't have any time to discuss rules. And
True.
when this coach is going to go try to sub this player back in, number 17, he might be disappointed. Bo Vučković isn't known for compromise once the game has started. Nate Lovitz with a long goal kick.
If you want to check out the bios of your favorite players, make sure you purchase the Vermont Voltage 2006 yearbook program from our souvenir staff. Voltage and Lady Voltage merchandise is 20% off tonight at the souvenir stand, so be sure to show your support for Vermont's premier soccer club.
Ali Kaba on the ball in the near corner. Oh, and Utah had a tremendous opportunity there on his left foot, and he blew it. Put it wide to the right. Nice play from the Aztec club.
Voltage would like to extend a special thanks to all of our sponsors, whose signs can be seen around the field.
Utah wide open on his left foot against Nate Lovitz, and he couldn't even put it on the square.
So please support those who support us.
Not a great goal kick by the Voltage. And well defended. That'll be a goal kick. Much better kick by Nate Lovitz. And well played.
Purser headed back nicely.
Well
read pass by Tierno.
Girls Average Bureau on Lake Street in St. Albans is the official post-game hangout for the Voltage fans and players. Come meet the players and get excellent food and drinks after the game at the Gills in St. Albans.
And
Voltage getting themselves in a little trouble in the back here. Purser getting stripped to the ball.
oh,
Plays it across to a wide open Ali Kaba. Can't quite get his
I think
foot
that
up
was
on it for a volley.
a poor decision. I think he had plenty of time to take that down and would have been an easy tap-in for him.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
He might have saw Erie Soon's goal from last week and had an idea.
That's right. Perhaps one of the best goals, one of the top 5 goals anyway, scored in Voltage, all-time Voltage history. One of the top 5 goals scored in last week's match. Number 1 has come on the field for Aztec Club and changed the way they play a little bit. He's got quite a lot of ball control, some good quick decision making. He's added a whole nother element to this team going forward.
Well, this will be the deciding factor if 17's allowed back on. Tierno waking his way up the right wing.
Vučković way off sides, trying to get a through ball from Irisun, who just can't turn it quick enough.
Voltage seemed to still be playing a low pressure system, letting the Aztecs have a bit of room. And seems like we're going to be having free substitutions.
JW Lions Club, Union Street, St. Albans, proud sponsors of Vermont Voltage. JW Lions Club, 524-4060.
Nice ball from Futa around the left side to Ali Kaba. McCarron showing some skill coming up out of the back.
That's what we like to see. If you're a Voltage fan, low percentage shots being taken by the Aztecs. Ooh, great tackle by James McCarron. Seemed to have banged up Yuta a little bit.
After tonight's game, you can catch the players at JW Lions Club on Union Street.
An interesting display there of refereeing, as the referee is babysitting the player who was fouled that the referee didn't call the foul on, but he babysits him all the way across the field to make sure he gets a drink and apologizes for not making the call.
For a financial partner, see the People's Trust Company, now serving you at 6 convenient locations in St. Albans, Swanton, Georgia, and Amesbury. People's Trust
Vučković on the ball in the middle of the field.
Equal housing lender.
And
Nice through ball for Zura. Can't quite get there.
2 steps short. McKenzie earning the foul. Voltage have a little bit of a win streak on the line.
Yeah, they do. It'd be a
Couple
shame
games.
to lose to a club such as this, Aztec. Not to disrespect them, but to come into the home park of the Voltage. Not necessarily as well prepared as the Voltage on a day-to-day basis. But perhaps playing with a little bit more heart and enthusiasm. Derek McKenzie standing off sides, standing and waiting.
Clueless.
Hard to understand what he's thinking about while he's standing there, waiting for the offsides call.
Quite the animated crowd. Well, I can't imagine Vučković is very happy with the play right now. Considering
Very
he likes
sloppy, very disorganized.
I know he likes to hold the ball and move it around, and we're just not doing that right now. Too direct, and
He's in a foot race that he's not going to win. Looking for the foul, doesn't get the call. And the Aztecs will bring the ball back forward.
and that's not how he wants to play either. He doesn't want the ball into space. And it's just going to make him tired and frustrated playing him those balls.
Yeah, those balls were of 2 years ago, not this year. Kenzie, offsides again.
A couple times tonight.
It's a very different team without Simic in the middle controlling the ball.
Quiznos, many locations throughout Vermont. The new southern town, tasty, delicious, and yummy. Quiznos.
And Clark Benson in the box. Oh, and that's going to stay in. Well, in defense of the Voltage, the Aztecs might have more minutes playing together as a full team than the Voltage do with this team.
Yeah, there's a very good possibility of that happening.
That's something we've been used to, considering I don't know if we've had the same lineup more than 3 games.
That's true.
And this should hopefully be a shot. Surprised Bo hasn't pulled the trigger a couple times here.
Yeah, he seems to be a little reluctant to shoot that 30-yard shot that he usually lets it rip.
Without their continuous support, the Voltage would not exist. Please support those who support us. If you are
And that's going to be a turnover.
please call the Voltage office at 537-2499.
I would say it's time to make some changes in the lineup.
Yep.
Get a different look going here.
There are some good guys on the bench ready to come in.
Into the 64th minute.
And
Zura can't quite get it through the defense to Vučković, who was moving on to the ball.
another turnover. These turnovers are really going to add up in the end.
Number 17.
Dangerous ball sent in.
Lenny Malati causing problems down on the left side.
And we got to get somebody in the box here, and Derek is all alone. The only thing he can hope for is a penalty kick. Got Charlie Mildrum coming in for a substitution, I'm assuming for Mark Benson. Mirza.
Good to see Charlie Mildrum getting some playing time this year.
He's headed off to St. Lawrence University as a freshman this year. His preseason's got to be coming up within the next 2 weeks.
Right.
He's a local St. Albans guy.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that I always see working the hardest in training.
Yep.
He's put a lot of time and effort into his game.
Oh!
McKenzie can't quite redirect it.
Voltage got plenty at the back. Difficult corner kick for Vučković to take care of, considering it was bouncing when it got to him.
Yes. I like the way that play evolves and develops because Vučković can hit that relatively consistently. It is an effective corner kick.
Well, what's the most interesting is how we've played in games where I've passed him that ball 4 times before the other team catches on to actually stick somebody on him.
Yeah, it's surprising how poorly people adjust to that specific play. The Voltage find themselves on their heels again. In the 67th minute of play here at Collins Purley Sports Complex, we're still tied at 0-0.
It's a good ball in.
Charlie Mildrum on the throw-in, takes it quickly up to Diallo. Oh, questionable call there.
Minimal contact. More good work on the outside by 17.
Don't forget to mark your calendars for the last game.
17, Lenny Malati.
Definitely by far their best player.
Dave Handy Motors is providing a brand new Pontiac vibe that one of our lucky fans can walk away with. So Mark those calendars for August 19th. Come to the Voltage game and have a chance of leaving with a new car.
And that's
Diallo with a miserable first touch. Unbelievable.
looks like we got a 4-on-4 at the back here.
Fans, make sure you're here August 19th when the Voltage take on the New Hampshire Phantoms. That's August 19th on a Wednesday.
Be a Voltage throw. Zura on the ball. Good pass to Mark Benson, not dealt with.
Just too lackadaisical receiving that ball.
And that's Voltage do not look themselves. Sloppy play. I have a feeling this is going to be a 1-goal game either way.
Well, the way things are going right now, I wouldn't put any money on the Voltage unless they clean up their play. I'm lucky to
Close
clear that
call.
ball out.
Hoping we'll have a spark out of Charlie Mildrum or one of these other subs like Ashton Heroin, who'll be coming off the bench soon. Well, the Aztecs have surprised me as a men's league team. I think they're very well organized.
They seem to have a little bit of grit about them. They're not interested in giving up and blowing off this game. Playing with quite a bit of pride, quite a bit of organization.
Cleared out by Charlie. And here is Ashton Heroin coming in a defensive midfield role.
Going in number 23,
UVM guy.
This substitution is brought to you by
Coming off is Nathan Demers, a Middlebury College player. Getting his game together before he goes back to Coach Dave Sayward and the Middlebury College Panthers.
Computer support for the home, the office, or anything in between. Call Vanzlight Computer Consulting, your local source for computers.
Good tackle by James McCarron. He's had a decent game.
People's Trust Company has been serving the community since 1886 with friendly hometown service, dependable banking, and experience you can trust. If you're looking for a financial partner, see the People's
Mark
Trust
Benson with a
Company.
nice ball to Vucevic.
6 convenient locations in
Can't
St.
control it.
Albans, Swanton,
The
Georgia,
Voltage really need to get out of their own area.
People's Trust Company, a member of FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Good hustle by Zura. And that'll be out of bounds.
Let's
Advantage call again. That's the third time this referee has blown an advantage call. Drives me crazy. There needs to be a lecture for American referees to understand the advantage rule from some higher power than whatever is in Vermont refereeing.
Headed out by Dave Percy. This will be Chris Zura with the ball to Ashton Harwin, his first couple touches of the game. The Aztecs really aren't combining in the final third how they are in the midfield, and that's the big difference in this game for them.
And the Aztecs are making another substitution. Coming on the field, number 20, Clive Mannion. Looks like he'll be coming in up top for Utah. Japanese player, number 7.
They have Vučković available.
And he can't
this will
maintain
be
possession.
his first touches of the game, this guy. Well, does not appear to have much talent.
Pretty surprising right now. This might be the least competent that I've seen the yellow team play in quite a long time. Just not even be able to pass the ball up over the midfield.
Charlie Mildrum. That'll be cleared out effortlessly.
Make your event even better. Sparky, the Voltage's best player, is available for birthday parties, corporate events, or any other occasion.
And the Voltage are on sides somehow.
Lotto Italian Sport Design.
Zura can't get it in.
Lotto Italian Sport Design is the official equipment sponsor of the Vermont Voltage and Lady Voltage.
We're into the 75th minute here. St. Albans, Vermont, and it's still 0-0.
Mark Benson on the ball here. Not the cross that Bo was looking for. That's
David
a great
Purser
ball,
with a nice
man.
cross. Zura's
Need to
collecting
get somebody
it.
on the penalty spot. Vučković, goal!
Vučković with a side volley from 16 yards. Off a deflection. Well finished ball. I must say I'm surprised that it finally came.
All right, put your hands together for the Big G.
And the oldest guy in the crowd gets the ball. Well, that was a great finish by Bo. One that the Aztecs might be their demise. Good hustle by Charlie Mildrum. And I have a feeling this game's going to open up in the last 10 minutes with the Aztecs being down a goal.
For all the things you'd expect from a great home center. 2 locations, 44 Lower Newton Street in St. Albans and 2 Orchard Street in Phoenix.
Yeah, I could see this game going either way right now.
Long cross, not going to do it.
McCarron clears. Vučković pressuring the ball.
Nemo's, direct from southern Italy. Pizza, pasta, salad, subs, homemade desserts, beer, and wine. Come and watch our cooks in our open kitchen. A fun atmosphere the whole family is sure to enjoy. 42 South Main Street, St. Albans. Nemo's, 524-2244.
This will be a throw-in for Chris Zura, who I believe had the assist on that goal. It's the one that crossed it around. It got deflected a little. Good ball over by Ashton to Benson with a good first touch. Good cross in. Oh!
Ashton with a nice volley just over the bar. I think he would have had more luck with that if he'd gone with his left foot.
Good attempt by Heroin.
Nice cross from Mark Benson. Mike Ferrari with a goal kick. Erie Soon dribbling the middle of the field. And can't quite keep it in bounds.
Good dribbling by Erie. And the Voltage seem to be putting the pressure on now. Oh, good save.
Well saved by Mike Ferrari from the Aztec Club. And we're into the 80th minute of play. Vermont Voltage 1, Aztec Soccer Club 0.
Long cross in by Erie.
1023 WLFE, a proud sponsor of the Vermont Voltage and Lady Voltage. If you're a country music fan, then you're a fan of real country.
A well-hit punt.
WLFE 1023.
Put back for Nate Lovitz, who will kill a little time.
Boat headquarters. If you need a new boat, there's only one place you must go. Boat headquarters, Swanton, Vermont. Just call Kevin.
And the Voltage should step up here, and
Place where real boats are.
good win.
Always finding new ways to
A little bit on his back. That's a good looking cross. Very good cross by number 1.
Diallo diving in. Number 17, Lenny Malati, dribbling his way to the top of the box with a decent shot.
30 days, plumbing and heating, residential and commercial. Call 527-0288 for plumbing and heating needs today. Shortstop, Voltage fans, make sure you
Good tackle by Chris Zura.
Voltage game day tickets. On the back of your tickets is a coupon for a free 20-ounce Aquafina water with any purchase at a Shortstop or Jolly convenience store.
And that's a foul. Well blocked by Ashton Heroin. Another good punt from Nate Lovitz. Just no one there. And this will be Mike's debut from the Voltage, number 17 coming in. It's a guy from Ohio.
Michael Swim.
For everything you need to know, look out for Vermont's oldest evening newspaper, the St. Albans Messenger.
Substitutes have come on and made a pretty good difference here for the Voltage.
Yeah, I would say that almost any time the Voltage substitutes, it's an improvement. The Voltage seems to get into certain types of ruts where they keep playing the same way, and either they're getting defended easily or just not connecting. And changing up one or two players on the field always seems to make a big difference with this group.
And he will be on for Mark Benson, Tierno.
Number 17, Michael Swim. Looks like he's from Iowa University. Late season acquisition. And Tierno Diallo is going to take a seat.
And his first touch as a Voltage. Derek with some time. Heroin with a good pass in.
And that should be an offsides on Bovuchkovic. Ashton Heroin with a nice turn, but Vučković was clearly offsides and not called.
It's a great pass from Ashton. Mike almost had a goal in his first minute as a Voltage. The veteran Vučković was there to pass it in.
So the number goes on the board. The Voltage are up 2-0 over the Aztec club. Nice to see the Voltage score, but you always prefer it to be a fair and equal. Things are getting hot and heated down on the field as the referee has definitely lost control of the game.
It's like Erie might have had the wind knocked out of him. It looks like Ali Cabo will take this shot.
Erie Soon is coming off the field after that clobbering he took from one of the Aztec players. can't blame the Aztec players for being frustrated with the refereeing that we've seen in the last half hour. Coming onto the field, number 21, Branko Vučković.
Good shot.
Well saved by Nate Lovitz. A dipping, twisting ball going for the far corner.
Headed well out of bounds by Derek McKenzie. Oh, nice play by Bronco. Entering the 90th minute.
I think thankfully this game is winding down. If it had to go on much longer, the Aztec club might explode in frustration.
Not a pretty one, but a good one for the Voltage. And
once again, 30 seconds
that's the game.
into the injury time, and the whistle's blown after clearly having 3 to 4 minutes of injury time, of real injury time. So there you have it, the Vermont Voltage 2, Aztec Soccer Club from Boston, Massachusetts 0. This is Jamie Hutchins and Mike Forenza signing off. The next game is next Wednesday.
To be announced. The Phantoms game might be postponed.
Okay. Check the website, www.vermontvoltage.com, for all your Voltage news. Thanks for listening.